Finally. At long last. This is the holiday that I've been looking forward to for a while. The greatest American-made holiday. 4th of July. I got my buddy, Mr. Eagle here. So, say hello, Mr. Eagle. That's right, Mr. Eagle. Freedom Cheeseburger, Statue of Liberty. And I've got me a cold Mountain Dew. And all I have to do is just simply enjoy the time off. Just relax and take it easy. No goofy adventures or shenanigans. No craziness. I can simply just relax. Just drink me a nice, cold, crisp dew. Although it is interesting, because Mountain Dew doesn't necessarily have a long history when it comes to, doing a lot of things for 4th of July. At least, not for a long while. It's rather odd. You would think a soda brand dedicated to, going outdoors and, living the best life out in the summer and exploration and, exports and extreme sports and, skateboard and mountain climbing, roller derby and skiing and even snowboarding. You'd think they have a bigger history with this kind of stuff. Celebrating the big, Day of Independence. But surprisingly not. Also, you could tell I'm a bit more relaxed because, well, I'm not even wearing the normal hat. I'm not even doing anything. Quite literally. I've got an undershirt on. I just got back from hanging out with a few friends. Ate some barbecue. Got real fat. This has been a good 4th of July. Yes, I have friends. Just not on this version of Earth. Just out back in my original timeline. Which I still miss. So. But, just because, look, I was sent here doesn't mean I can't go and visit them. Yeah. I still wonder to this day why I've been sent here. To help out, but who knows? Until I crack the mystery involving Pitch Black, maybe one day I'll figure it out. Ain't that right, Mr. Eagle? Ain't that right, Mr. Eagle? Who's a good eagle? Yes, you are. Making caw noises and stuff. You're a good symbolization of patriotism and freedom. Yes, you are. I love you, Mr. Eagle.
Hey, buddy. Happy 4th.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Crash. What's up?
Hey, buddy. Didn't know if you knew this or not, but Mountain Dew made some 4th of July flavors a while back.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
But I was enjoying the holiday and the time off.
Well, you can still enjoy the holiday. You just have to review all 3 of the different flavors first.
Alright. Fine. Well, so much for this. Sorry, Mr. Eagle. I love you still. But you also must die! I tend to forget that eagles are a bit more volatile. Well, might as well don ye old hat. And welcome to another TheinsiderDEWclusive. No, I'm not taking the undershirt off, though. So, America and Dew go together like cheese on bread. Go together like sauce on barbecue. Go together like mac and cheese. And, weirdly enough, Mountain Dew, like I said in the beginning, doesn't really have a very strong, very long sort of history when it comes to the holiday. In terms of flavors, that is. In fact, believe it or not, as weird as this is going to sound, the first time Mountain Dew even attempted to do a 4th of July American holiday was all the way back in 2017 when they came out with Dew SA. Basically, Mountain Dew State America, Dew SA, USA, ha, pun funny. It was basically a mixture of Voltage, Cold Red, and Whiteout, which was a limited time flavor that they had in 2017, but then they brought it back in 2021 for a little bit. And then that was just kind of it. So, it's not a bad flavor by any means. It's certainly okay, but the problem is it's not necessarily my favorite flavor either, because you're taking 3 distinct permanent flavors and just sort of blending them into a cocktail of sorts. I would use the actual terminology for it, but I've been told that saying the particular S word on the internet can get you flagged. So instead, we're calling it a hodgepodge of Dew flavors. So, it's not bad, but it's not my favorite. It's just because Voltage alone is kind of its own unique flavor and is usually better iced and chilled. Code Red can be enjoyed pretty much hot or cold, so it don't really matter as much. And Whiteout is... it exists. So, yeah, not exactly the best concoction they came out with out the gate to celebrate America. But that's okay, because even after Dew SA was a thing, they did eventually try again, you know, with another summer flavor, which we actually covered. Mountain Dew Summer Freeze, which that one was actually pretty good, if we've, you know, since we've already talked about it. It's basically sort of like a summer pop, like bomb pop flavor, which was actually pretty good. So, I was surprised. But, surprisingly, as far as America-themed flavors, they never really did a whole lot. It just sort of there, and that was it. Nothing crazy, nothing intense, but nothing really serious either. So why is it that Mountain Dew decided to triple down on the America Bald Eagle Cheeseburger Harley Davidson, aesthetic. And, wait. Okay, y'all heard that too, right? The burning sound. Oh, yeah. No, poor little Eagly is, on fire. Yeah, that sounds about right, given the state of this country. At least in this timeline. So, regardless, Crash was kind enough to, procure, 3 brand new America-themed flavors. Yeah, kind of surprised about that they did just 3 brand new ones. I have been told that they are Liberty Chill, Star Spangled Splash, and Freedom Fusion. And what we're going to do is basically do 3 short separate segments, try all 3 of them, and then give kind of our thoughts at the end of what we think's the better out of the 3. And, was it worth doing this? Or could they have just brought back Summer Freeze or USA back? That's up for you to decide. So we'll be back with the first round after this. Welcome back. Well, here we are with round 1. So, Crash went downstairs and grabbed some of the flavors for me. And we have all 3 of them right here with us. We've got Star Spangled Splash, which is, from what I'm understanding, a red berry flavor of Dew. Which, I'm cool, just red berry. I'm assuming cherry and raspberry and stuff like that, possibly. We've got Freedom Fusion, which is actually kind of interesting. This one is a lemonade and peach flavor Dew, which this one might actually stand out as something a little more unique. Also, it's kind of inspired by the Grand Canyon, which is cool. And then lastly, we've got Liberty Chill, which is probably the most confusing of the all. Because remember when I said that USA was 3 different flavors in one with Whiteout, Voltage, and Code Red? I think Mountain Dew's trying to copy Dr. Pepper. Because this is 50 different flavors of Dew in one bottle. I'm not kidding. If it shows, but literally 50 different flavors of Dew, all wrapped up in one. My God. I think we'll save that one for the end. Let's start tame. Let's start as tame as possible with the Star Spangled Splash and see how it is. Because, it's just red berry. That could pretty much be anything at this point. So, also, they never cease to amaze me with the label art. Although, I gotta say this, though. I kind of like the one on Freedom Fusion a bit more, in my opinion. But, the one with Liberty Chill is also pretty cool with, Statue of Liberty riding a motorcycle, which is quite literally a gag that I swear someone at PepsiCo pulled out of our playbook. Look, all I'm saying, Mountain Dew and PepsiCo, is this. Just send me a free 12-pack of Dew. Preferably some zero sugar so that Crash can enjoy it too. We'll call it even. Or, a new Mountain Dew t-shirt would be nice. Since, yeah. Anyhow, let's start with Star Spangled Splash. That is a very... I like, barely opened it. And that smell of, like, potent red berry just hits you. I'm kind of concerned. Just a wee bit. Just a little wee bit. Oh yeah, no, that is like a strong cherry. That's like a really, really strong cherry. But like a sweet cherry. Maybe it's got like, you know, just cherry, raspberry, and something else in it. But we're going to try it and see how it is. Now, as always, we're going to try it normal, and then we're going to try it uniced in our dew cup. So, oh, there's a lot of water in there. A little bit of a palate cleanser, if you will. Bottoms up to Star Spangled Splash. That's just a sweeter Code Red. That's really all that is. That is just a sweeter Code Red. I was kind of hoping there'd be a little more to it. In fact, actually, hang on. Yeah. That's just a sweeter Code Red. I need to check something real quick. I'm going to pause this. Okay, I'm back. So after doing a little research, it's actually supposed to be a combination of strawberry and raspberry. I mistook it for cherry. I really did. I don't know how I did, but I did. Now, that's actually not a bad flavor. That's a good combination, raspberry and strawberry. It tasted so familiar to Code Red because that sort of cherry taste is usually in their red coloring, is like usually in all their Mountain Dew drinks. But I'm going to try it iced real quick. Give me just a sec. Because maybe the strawberry will kind of pop out a bit more. Again, just a small amount since we're tasting like 3 different dews. So, you know. Yeah, the strawberry definitely comes out when it's iced. Okay. Yeah, no. That is actually real interesting. That was kind of an unexpected just flavor profile. Because very rarely does Mountain Dew anything with like strawberry at all. Like, they've done a few strawberry things in the past, which, yes, we will cover at some point. There's even a particular exclusive that we've fortunately never got to try, but we're finding a way to try it. All I'm gonna say is this. And, we're gonna find a way to definitely, cause an uproar. Again. Foreshadowing. Regardless, it's not a bad flavor by any means. It's just more surprising because the raspberry's a bit muted, but the strawberry kind of got mistook for cherry a little bit. And I was like, why does this taste a little sweeter than I realized? This can't be cherry, but it's strawberry. It's a good combination, but I feel like the strawberry needs to be a little stronger, and the raspberry needs to be a little stronger too. There's sort of like an imbalance. I feel like the strawberry is more prominent than the raspberry. It's not bad, but I like it. I don't hate it. It's actually pretty solid. So, well, we still got 2 other flavors to try, so we might as well go through it. I've also been told that Eagly is recovering well, so there's that. And we'll be back with round 2. See you in a bit. We're back with part 2. So, I figured now that we tried the peculiar combination of raspberry and strawberry, next thing we have to try is Freedom Fusion, which, again, like the design art a lot, it's got lemonade and peach. Now, some of you may also be wondering, lemonade and peach? Dewey, haven't they already done this before with, like, restaurant exclusives and other exclusives? Technically, yes, you are correct. They've done multiple lemonade flavors of Dew in the past. And believe it or not, there is actually a lemonade flavor, which, yes, we do plan on covering at some point also. I'll tell you this, though. It's a very chill vibe. I'm 2 for 2 on this foreshadowing stuff. I think I'm getting better. And they do actually have a peach flavor, whereby it's more of like a peach and tea flavor, which also involves going to a particular chicken place, which we also plan on covering at some point. But regardless, so point is, lemonade and peach is not something that you would normally expect as just its own combination. But separate, yeah, Mountain Dew has had plenty of time to perfect this. So let's see if it holds up. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to try Freedom Fusion. Although, something interesting is on the label art. I see an alien UFO on the label art. Is Mountain Dew thinking what I think they're thinking? They could be. I wouldn't be surprised. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. Maybe. I'm just saying. It's a conspiracy. You see it, right? It's right there. Take a closer look. I'm just saying. They're out there. I don't know what they want with me, but they're out there. A little concerning. But then again, I know Crash is dating one of them, so at this point, anything's on the frickin' table. Anyhow, Freedom Fusion. Let's give it a go. Weirdly enough, not as strong of a smell compared to, say, Star Spangled Splash. I was kind of hoping it would also be just as strong, but I guess not. Although I smell the peach. The lemonade is kind of there as like a base. But it's not terrible. So who knows? Let's give it a try. Also, this really does give me like whiteout PTSD, which I just... whiteout. That is actually surprisingly refreshing. I think the reason why I like this one a little more too over, say, Star Spangled Splash is because Star Spangled Splash, specifically on the bottle, only says a blast of red berry flavor. So it's anyone's guess as to what it is unless you actually look it up. Whereas this one specifically tells you, oh, it's lemonade and peach flavor. And honestly, that's not terrible. Now, again, it also has familiar notes to, say, other flavors that still currently exist or have been discontinued in the past. But, I mean, overall, it's not bad. It's a rather pleasant flavor. I like this one more than Star Spangled Splash too because it's not as strong and as potent. So as such, it's one of those things that, like, you kind of know going in what you're getting. But is it better at ice? Let's try it on ice in our Mountain Dew glass. Again, trying just a little bit. Yeah, you know what? That's nice, crisp, and refreshing. The lemonade flavor gets a little muted when you put it on ice, so you don't taste it as much. But the peach flavor does stand out, but it's also not, like, super overwhelming, which is nice. I really like that. That's actually pretty solid. So, I'm pleasantly surprised with that. So, yeah, it's not like a flavor that I don't think is going to be as aggressive as, say, other flavors in Mountain Dew history. But also, to be fair, not every Mountain Dew flavor is going to have this super bold, energized kick. Which is what's nice, because you never know what you're going to get with some of these combinations. But I like it. It's solid. I would actually, like, drink this on a hot summer's day. So, maybe I'm out by, like, the pool or something with friends, like I was earlier, and just do that. So, but that's not terrible. So, I liked that. I like it, again, more than Star Spangled Splash because I confused it for almost a Code Red cherry flavor, but really it's just strawberry and raspberry. Which, if I wanted raspberry dew, I would just go out and get Spark. Which is just essentially raspberry lemonade. But at the same time, raspberry strawberry would be good if they did sort of like an upgraded Spark. Maybe that's kind of what I want with Star Spangled Splash, is I want it to be a little more elevated, whereas Freedom Fusion is just the right balance. But we still got one more flavor we gotta try. One that I'm deeply worried about because I don't know if it's gonna taste good or not, considering it's like 50 different flavors in one. And that worries me. We'll be back with the final review in a moment. Welcome back to the final part, or the final review, if you will. Now, this ending segment's going to be a little bit longer than 10 minutes, and there'll be a reason for it. So, I didn't know this until looking it up, but Liberty Chill is literally just Liberty Brew. They all they did was slap new label art on it, renamed it, and sort of retweaked the formula slightly. And they gave it a new tagline, which is just 50 flavors in one dew instead of 50 flavors in one. So, just so a lot of people aren't confused, Liberty Chill is literally Liberty Brew. Which I don't understand why they couldn't just stick with the name Liberty Brew. But I guess Liberty Chill is a nicer name. Maybe because the word brew just seems a little concoctious, I guess. I don't know. But, believe it or not, there's actually a little bit of slight history with Liberty Chill and Liberty Brew, since they're the same flavors. Which is kind of what I wanted to briefly sort of gloss over real quick. So, I actually did look it up, and Liberty Chill, formerly known as Liberty Brew, is a Mountain Dew flavor released as part of the United States promotion that was part of the summer of 2019 and 2020 for a limited time. And then it later returns as Liberty Chill in June 2024. So, a lot of the limited time sort of things that they did with it was interesting. So, the initial speculation, back when it was Liberty Brew, back in 2019, said that they drew a lot of comparisons to, say, like a popsicle or a bomb pop, which, ironically, is what later became Summer Freeze. But a lot of numerous other people said that it also tasted kind of like a gummy. So think like Lifesavers, Wild Berry gummies, or like those little squishy burger gummies that used to get as a kid. Stuff like that. But during its second release, PepsiCo decided to slightly alter the flavor, which partially lost its kind of like gummy-esque taste. But after its third release, they changed it again, but retained some of that gummy-esque taste afterwards. Especially in its sort of aftertaste, which is interesting because it just tastes a little bit like squishier, and I know squishier is not the right word for dew, but it tastes a lot more sugary, if that makes sense. And not just because of the added sugars, but just that sort of sugary aesthetic. So, but yeah, which is interesting, because the first sighting of its trademark was back on August 22nd, 2018 for Liberty Brew. And then it wasn't until December of 2018 that a PepsiCo employee pretty much confirmed that, you know, this was going to be one of those flavors, along with, like, other flavors and stuff. So, January 9th of 2019, there was a Reddit post that basically confirmed that it was called Liberty Brew, along with photos and stuff. And then it even got posted by someone called Mountain Dew Kid on Instagram after a few weeks later, confirming that it's Liberty Brew. And then just eventually, what was weird was they pushed back the release date to May 15th for unknown reasons. And then it never released until June 2nd of 2019 for a limited time. But it was part of the Dune United States promotion, which, for those who don't remember, the Dune United States promotion was actually rather interesting. Essentially, what you could do is you could purchase different Mountain Dews with different like label arts and codes underneath the caps. And what the promotion did was, if you made an effort to collect all 50 unique United States themed Mountain Dew labels, you would get a $100 prepaid gift card. Which is ironic because, you know, you would have to spend close to $100 anyways to collect 50 different Mountain Dew, you know, variants or more. So essentially it was more or less kind of like a rebate. Which they started that promotion back in 2019. And then, interestingly enough, they decided to bring back the same promotion a second time in 2020. Where if you had uploaded every single bottle onto the website, a participant also had an entry to win a $1 million cash prize, which that's a lot of dew. That's a lot of cheddar, if you will. Plus, on top of that, too, it was also given unique Dune United labels, too, on top of that, to sort of begin. But a new trading mechanic was also added onto it as well, too, which was referred to as the trade post, where in order to trade, the participant has to have a duplicate state, and then they can select the state that they don't have and trade it in for that state. Everything was done digitally, so no mailing was required, which was nice, so you didn't have to go back and forth with, you know, everything. However, there was a limit, as participants can only trade 5 times per account. So meaning that, essentially, you would get 5 kind of free hall passes. And then afterwards, you would have to, you know, try again. So it's interesting because there is a whole gallery of like videos and images and stuff that they promoted on social media with it. Kind of like showing off the label art a bit more and these sort of like graphics. Maybe one of these days we'll kind of go over it, but probably not in this video or in this episode or this thing. So, but yeah, the Dewey United States promotion was relatively fun. And then they had that, and that was it. And it wasn't until after this year that they brought back Liberty Brew, but as, well, Liberty Chill. So, although interestingly enough, Mountain Dew also did kind of a promotion this year for it. So, Mountain Dew did what they called a cooler quest. It was slightly announced. I say half unannounced, half like announced. But it was on their Twitter account. Essentially, for the official first day of summer and the release of all 3 different flavors, Mountain Dew decided, hey, why don't we take a cooler full of all 3 of the different flavors, stock them up, throw like a prepaid gift card in there, and one of those fancy sort of like, you know, really nice coolers, and send people out on a scavenger hunt to different parks, recreational places, you know, outdoor places, and have people hunt it down with GPS coordinates. Each GPS coordinate had about 5 coolers per location, and they all got announced on that day of June 20th, which was the first day of summer. Ironically enough, there are only 10 locations spread out throughout the country. Me and Crash actually did originally want to go out and go find one of them, but We just didn't have enough prep time and money to go out of the city to go do that. But we wanted to. Also, interestingly enough, back when Mountain Dew Energy would have still been a thing, there were rumors of a Mountain Dew Energy Liberty Brew, but that got canceled. So, anyhow, now that you know a lot of this rather interesting trivia, let's finally try it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mountain Dew Liberty Chill. Which is, again, Liberty Brew. Yeah. No, that's... It smells just like Liberty Brew. Even has sort of that weird, sweet, like, gummy scent that I remember, too. Which is funny because I think they just took the same formula and just slapped a new label on it. I gotta be honest, that's a little lazy, but I'm sure. Let's try it. Mmm. 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 Like, I never thought I'd ever do that with a Mountain Dew flavor. But that was nasty. That was just gross. You know how I said in the beginning that, like, it kind of had a little bit of a gummy, like, aftertaste and flavor to it with some of the previous incarnations? But, like, it was like a hint of that, right? That's just 100% just like eating a gummy in liquid form. That was... that was too much. I never thought in the amount of Mountain Dew things that I've tried in the history of this, but my God, that was nasty. I know. It's like they took that gummy aftertaste comment that people have made over the past couple years and just cranked that to 11. And just said, oh, it's 50 different flavors of Dew, but it's like, not really. Also, weirdly enough, I want to point this out. If you go to their PR website, it says that it has like a blend of 50 flavors to create a bold midnight blue color and berry taste. But other retail websites such as Walmart are describing it as kind of a, exhilarating burst of cherry and berry flavors. No, that's... I'm willing to try it one more time, iced, to see if it makes a difference. Ooh, water. Water. But that's it. I'm willing to try it one more time, but I hate to be honest, folks. This may be the first time in recorded history for this series that you guys might see me do a spit take. Be warned. Alright, that's a ample amount. Bottoms up. Ugh. Ugh. Ah. Ah, God. Ah. Ugh. Ah. Ah. Ugh. Ugh. No. Just no. That was... Take everything I said about that gummy flavor and now make it way too overwhelming on ice. That was... That certified sucked. Overall. Crash actually used to kind of like this flavor. So, if it's the same formula, let me go grab him real quick and see what he thinks. Give me 1 sec. You want me to try Liberty Chill? Yeah, I just want you to try it. Okay? You used to like Liberty Brew from what I was told off camera. And I know you and your buddy Renji and a lot of people really liked it. But this is just too much. You really should just see if this holds up, because to me, this was nasty. Nasty? Nasty. I'm really surprised, Dewey. There's a flavor that you actually don't like? Yeah, no. I mean, it's not as bad as Whiteout. But, yeah, this is too much. Alright, fine. You want me to end the episode basically trying it? Yeah, I want you to end the episode trying it. I can't be on camera for the rest of this. This really was just... I mean... Okay, I'll take over. I didn't realize it was that bad, but alright. Hi, I guess. Oh, Dewey left his hat. Okay. I'll just... Alright, well... I guess I'm... kind of ending the episode. Liberty Chill is what it is. I guess Liberty Brew? He says that it's supposed to be just Liberty Brew, but just with a new label art on it, and just slap a coat of paint on it and call it a day. Which, I'm not against that, unlike Dewey. I feel like, look, if something works, you stick with what's not broken. Right? And just keep doing it. But, okay, I guess he says it's just way too much. He doesn't like it. It's got a gummy aftertaste, which I like gummies. I mean, my favorites are the Welch's, zero sugar ones, because I like those little tropical fruit ones, or the island ones. So, I like little zero sugar gummies. I can't eat, regular gummies anymore because of health changes, but sure, let me try Liberty Chill. Yeah. It just tastes like Liberty Brew. In fact, that's the exact same formula as Liberty Brew. I agree that it definitely tastes more like a gummy. I agree that it no longer has just that aftertaste, and this just 100% tastes like, you know, a gummy, like, lifesaver, or like, I don't know if you remember trying these, but you remember when, like, I know SpongeBob's always been popular for, like, since the beginning of time, but, like, you remember specifically when, like, kids would eat those little, like, Krabby Patties that were, like, gummy shaped? Just imagine eating, like, a handful of those, just, you know, just like a crazed lunatic. It's like that. I don't know. I mean, I could take a small sip of it iced. Wow, this ice melted a lot. Sure. Like I said, I stopped doing Mountain Dew reviews because I assigned this job to Dewey. This was his job. This was his position. I mean, I'll still try them every now and then, but, you know, I like my regular zero sugar dews, so. Cheers. Mm. 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 Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. Okay. I see what Dewey's problem is. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go grab him. He still needs to finish this episode. I apologize for the inconvenience, but wow. Let me go grab him. Hey, Dewey. Yeah. So, you still need to finish the episode, at least close it off, but, like, I liked it when it wasn't iced. Really. Yeah, when it's not iced, it's not bad, but once you get it on ice, it just completely distorts the flavor. I told you, it's like, it's way too much. It's too much, man. It's too overwhelming. Again, I'm just surprised there's a flavor that you just don't like. Well, other than whiteout, but I mean, even still. Oh, there's my hat. Yeah, I found your hat. Thank you. Can't believe I was enjoying my 4th of July. Relaxing, chilling, and ugh. Ugh. Alright. Well, there you have it. In a first for this series, we found a flavor that actually sucks ass. Mountain Dew Liberty Chill is awful. It takes everything that was kind of good about Liberty Brew and makes it way too extreme on the far end of the spectrum. I'll do a quick, like, ranking between the three, but that's it. Freedom Rush, or Freedom Fusion, is my number 1. That actually tasted really good. I would actually drink that overall. Star Spangled Splash is pretty good. I kind of wish the strawberry and the raspberry were a little stronger. I kind of wish you would even maybe, like, sort of just balance it a little more. But I would still enjoy this overall. If someone gave this to me, I wouldn't say no. And then, y'all know how this crap tasted. I can't. That was just too much. Blah. Well, I love you, Mountain Dew. I love you, PepsiCo. But I gotta be honest. 2 out of 3. I mean, that's still a good batting average overall, but not every flavor is going to be a home run. So, anyhow, that about does it for this, I guess, sort of mini 4th of July special. I wish we had fireworks and stuff we could have recorded, but what are you going to do? This is Dewey signing off. And enjoy your summer. Just don't get Liberty Chill. Get the other 2 flavors. Later.